Hi there. We are live. Just put this up here. There we go. I'm here with Rudy boy. Rudy wears a diaper. Whoop. We just got back from a good walkie. Amy cleaned your eyes this morning, but I guess it's a little bit in there. He's doing okay, but he had a little eye goop. Anyway, we're going to continue reading him. I'll put you over here. Well, we'll just stay in my lap. We're going to continue reading The Gentle Art of Tramping. Today we're going to read the chapter called Carrying Money. That's a Rudy vision, huh? Let's see. Is it showing up yet? Okay, here we go. Carrying Money. The Gentle Art of Tramping. A book about exploring the recommendations about the tramping life. Mike Hunt, good to see you. Good to see you. I like your avatar. I love Mike Hunt. It's nice. And let's see if I can bring this up here. If I go to the studio, maybe it'll show up. Right, Rudy. There it is. Let's open it up. Let's avoid the feedback loop, though. Open. It's not working. How do you do this? Sorry. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And see, then I can put the, if anybody has a comment. Oh, hi, Groovy. Here we go. Carrying money. Put money in thy purse is often given to the young man. Well, before I go, I've been struggling a little bit with this book. It's been a tough one to I don't know, the writing style just isn't a match for my reading style. So it kind of takes a little while. Let's see if after 3 or 4 chapters now, if I can get it down. Carrying money. Put money in thy purse is often given to the young man as a jewel of wisdom. But we give the contrary advice, take it out. The less you carry, the more you will see. The less you spend, the more you will experience. Of course, if you have a strong enough will to resist temptation, you can carry what you like, but even then you are at a disadvantage of being worth a robber's attention. That's well written, if I do say so. I do sometimes pride myself that I set out for Jerusalem with the Russian pilgrims having 10 pounds, and that I brought back 5 of the pounds to Russia. The most I paid for lodging in Jerusalem was 3 farthings a day. Had I quit for a hotel, I should have lost most of the experience of the pilgrimage. When I made my study of the emigrants to America, I went steerage and came back steerage. I stayed in a workman's lodging house in New York, and I tramped to Chicago on less than $1 a day. Of course, it is very expensive in America, always was, unless you care to work your way. For my part, I think working one's way even more expensive. Ooh, I like that. But interesting. I probably wouldn't agree initially, but the way he wrote it there, I guess I could. A shilling a day ought to be ample for tramping in any part of the world, if you cook on your own campfire and sleep out. In Europe, generally, after the war, one needs to consider the currency situation. The Tyrol has been a place of cheap food and wine. Now it is much dearer. France and Italy, on the other hand, are cheaper. This writing just doesn't come to me. I'm just going to push through. It is well to carry notes of low denominations, as it is almost always difficult to get change in the country. If you have a larger note, a reserve to take you, let us say by boat or train somewhere at some point of your adventure, or to bring you home, it is as well to sew it in your jacket lining. It is a mistake to put it in your knapsack or in a pocket of a shirt. Once I put a 5-pound note in a secret pocket of a shirt and forgot all about it till after I received my linen one day, washed and ironed, from a peasant girl. Suddenly I remembered and feverishly picked up the shirt and went to the secret pocket. the girl smiling at me as I did so. The note was there, fresh and crisp. I was astonished. You washed and ironed this bit of paper? I asked. No, she said simply. I found it in and took it out, but I put it back after ironing. That's a nice little story. In America, it is as well to carry traveler's checks, as they can be cashed even in a small village, and they are safer than notes. In Europe, such checks are difficult to cash except in large cities. They are unfamiliar to the bankers of provincial towns. Even in large towns, you may have to wander from bank to bank, seeking a correspondent of the original bank from which you have taken the traveler's check. Interesting. Remember, this was like written in the 20s, so I didn't know they had traveler's checks then. A good plan is to have £5 notes sent to you by registered post by a bank at the time at which you are likely to require them. Well, that would require some foresight. They can be sent post restante. What is it, like written? But it is unwise to leave the packet too long unclaimed, as in some countries they return letters to sender after a week. Money can be sent by wire in this way. Money can also be sent by a bank in response to a wire if you have arranged a code signature before leaving home. This is a very simple matter if you are a bad enough tramp to have a balance intact. If you are a bad enough tramp to have a balance intact. It reminds me of Thoreau's comments about, has his poetry getting in the way of his well-being. I mean, his poverty, his lack of poverty being a hindrance to his well-being, something to that effect. After 2 months or less in the open living the life of a tramping hermit, you are likely, upon occasion, to have a joyous reaction towards excess. And this may express itself in a gay, giddy weekend, in hotels and restaurants and places of music and dance. You may spend more on a romp than you do on a tramp. Round and round the marketplace the monkey chased the weasel. You are that monkey, never catching the weasel. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. Hold on. Take the tea bag out. What you see there, Rudy? What you see? What you looking at? Oh, that weasel of false heart's desire. Haven't we chased it upon occasion? Here's a poem, I think. I am memory and torment. I am town. I am all that ever went with evening dress. I am memory and torment. I am town. I am all that ever went with evening dress. I guess he's kind of talking about the formality and ritual of our more sedate life. Memory and I don't quite get it. This writer his writing just kind of escapes me. Thus sang the banjo in the wilderness. You lie in the heights of the mountain under the stars, with empty pockets and empty stomach. You look at the many lights and blent illumination of the Milky Way. What does blent mean? Blent. Literary term, past participle of blend. Oh, of course. Like I know that. You look at the many lights and blent illumination. Oh, I guess it is. The illumination of the Milky Way is kind of blended. You look at the many lights and blent illumination of the Milky Way and think of Piccadilly, the great white way, burning its great stream of electricity, burning your candle and its own. The spree is not, however, entirely legitimate to the tramping expedition. Tramping is first of all a rebellion against housekeeping and daily and monthly accounts. You may escape from the spending mania, but first of all you escape from the inhibition. That is the word, the inhibition of needing to earn a living. In tramping, you are not earning a living, but earning a happiness. I think that was a pretty heavy-duty little paragraph right there. Let's read that paragraph again. So he's talking about the spree, the spree that you have at the town. You're tramping around, stop at some town for a fair or a music festival or something. A spree. The spree is not, however, entirely legitimate to the tramping expedition, so the spree isn't really part of the tramping expedition. Tramping is first of all a rebellion against housekeeping and daily and monthly accounts. You may escape from the spending mania, but first of all you escape from the inhibition. That is the word, the inhibition of needing to earn a living. In tramping you are not earning a living, but earning a happiness. There was a verse of poetry of which Ruskin, in his satirical mood, was inordinately fond. Here goes. As for the bird in the thicket, thrush or ouzel in leafy niche, she was far too rich to care for a morning concert to which she was welcome without a ticket. What? I don't get it. As for the bird in the thicket, thrush or ouzel in leafy niche, she was far too rich to care for a morning concert to which she was welcome without a ticket. Oh, I get it. So the bird in the bush singing away on its own in its freedom has no interest whatsoever. She's far too wealthy in that emancipation. She's far too rich to go to a concert to which she could have free entry to because she's a bird, because she's so wealthy on her own singing. It's beautiful. Just one paragraph left in this chapter. Almost done. Well, ours is the morning concert, without ticket and without program. See, there he goes. He's talking about that now. Well, ours is the morning concert, without ticket and without program, without classification of box or stall. You do not pay as you enter, nor grumble as you go out. Indeed, there's a very good reason. Performers and friends of the performers do not pay. You come as a friend of the thrush, or you are a thrush yourself. We shall see as we tramp the woods together which it is, but in any case, the thrush never takes round the hat. So I guess, so the title of this chapter was Carrying Money. I guess he's, advocating a life without too much concern for money when you're tramping. I guess there's kind of a freedom in that. I think that's true. When I was 16-ish, 17 and 18 and hitchhiking around America, I didn't give much thought for money. I just kind of, in fact, I went without money a lot, but I always made do. And there was a richness and depth in those years. Well, anyway, let's see if there's any questions. Nope. All right. Well, I'll stop for tonight. Rudy and I will... Rudy, you ready to go have some dinner? You want some dinner? Chicken? You want some chicken? Okay. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Take care and be safe, but not too safe. Bye-bye.